Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So the last episode we talked about was surviving the mother-in-law. And some of your stories were crazy. Like seriously, I cannot believe the things people do to one another in the name of family. But while some of you had tales of horror, others of you had positive experiences. And I want to start off with those stories today because let's be real, not all mother-in-laws are bad. So here are some of the nice ones. One user said, "My mother-in-law is a godsend. She's a single mom of 4. Having raised them mostly on her own after her divorce from my husband's dad. When she heard I was pregnant, she took me under her wing, teaching me everything she knew about raising kids and babies, offering advice when I asked for it and never pushing. She has been there every step of the way, helping out whenever she can and being loving and kind. To top it off, she's a great cook." Oh, and another person wrote, "My mother-in-law is a saint. After my husband lost his father a year ago, she took him in and cared for him without asking for help. She's also very helpful towards us and our baby. I am so lucky to have her as my mother." That's actually very sweet, and I am sure you make your husband's days with how thoughtful you are. Another user added, "I'm a guy and I will say my mother-in-law is the best. She is kind and helpful and loves my wife and kids. Can't complain." Another person said, "Mine is awesome. My wife is an only child. Her parents brought her up really well. They are very kind and considerate and they always greet me with a smile. They also give me many delicious home-cooked meals. My mother-in-law even knitted a sweater for my son. We are very lucky to have them. The only problem is the occasional unwanted advice from her. But who doesn't have that?" And finally, this user wrote, "My mother-in-law is a wonderful woman. She is the most caring person I know. While I was dating her son, she would call me to ask how I was doing, what my plans for the future were, etc. I had never had a mother figure do that before, since mine passed away when I was 16. She has been nothing but kind, respectful, welcoming, and honest with me, and she's treated me like a daughter. Even though I've only been married to her son for 6 months, she has already given me many pieces of advice that have helped me become a better person and a better wife. She's taught me how to cook some of her favorite recipes, which are now my favorite recipes too. She is a good listener and she never judges. I feel I can talk to her about anything, and she will take sides in a fight between her son and me. She's a good mediator, she has a really good sense of humor, and overall, she is just an amazing woman. I feel blessed to have her as my mom. But unfortunately, other users did not have such pleasant experiences. One person started off their story with, "If you think you have a bad mother-in-law, try having one who has abandonment issue." And then they went on to explain how their mother-in-law would allow her son or his wife to go anywhere alone together without her, even to the hospital when the baby was born. And if that wasn't bad enough, the mother-in-law then moved in with them soon after the baby was born and took over all childcare duties and would let the new parents do anything on their own. And according to the user, they're still dealing with it. Another user had this to say, "My mother-in-law basically kidnapped my daughter from me. We were visiting for Christmas. It was the first time seeing her in almost 2 years. She had her for the majority of the week and wanted us to come over for dinner one night. We got there and my daughter was all tucked in bed asleep. So we were told. I was pretty upset because we drove over an hour to see her and we couldn't even see our kid. My mother-in-law said something along the lines of, she was tired and it's not like she can remember anyway. She then started making passive-aggressive comments and jabs about how we never come to visit, that we must not love our daughter that much, etc. I got really upset and we left. My mother-in-law then called my husband saying that we basically abandoned our daughter again, that we're terrible people, etc. The next day we got a call saying that she had taken my daughter and was keeping her until we apologized. Oh, we didn't apologize for something we didn't do. So, for the past 5 months, we haven't seen our daughter. We don't know where she is. We don't know if she's okay. My husband is trying to get a lawyer involved, but it's a long process. I miss my kids so much, it's killing me inside." Wow. That's some serious stuff right there. If anybody knows the location of that daughter, please tell the authorities. But moving on, the next story goes a little something like this. "Up, I need you to listen to me carefully. You will not come to me for help. Is that understood? Now I want you to put your hands up where I can see them. Turn around slowly. Now bend over and put your face down on the table. Good. Now stay like that until I tell you to move. Don't try anything funny or I swear I'll scream murder and they'll shoot you. You wouldn't want that now, would you? Now stay still. God damn it. Finally, he's here. I've been expecting you. He has no idea what's going on. Come in, Edward. This is the guy I was talking about. He's here to see you. Good now. Leave us alone. I was confused, terrified, and pissed off. What the hell was going on? Why was I strapped to a chair in the basement of my own house? Why was my husband down here? Why was there a stranger? Who was this guy? Where was my phone? Why? Why was my mouth taped shut? The stranger removed the tape and said, "Get ready to die." Then he drew a knife and attacked my husband. I screamed, but my throat was dry. I couldn't make a sound. My husband screamed for help. The stranger plunged the knife into his chest. Blood squirted everywhere. My husband collapsed. I tried to get up, but the ropes binding me were too tight. I passed out. When I woke up, my mouth was still taped shut. The killer was gone. My husband was lying in a pool of blood. I struggled to free myself from the ropes, but it was no use. I could feel my life slipping away. I managed to crawl to the phone and dial 911. As sirens approached, I slipped in and out of consciousness. I vaguely remember a cop kneeling beside me asking me questions. The last thing I remember is my vision going black. Now the investigation revealed that my husband had been stabbed 17 times. The killer had used a large hunting knife, plunging it into my husband's chest over and over again. Apparently, my husband had been targeted because he owed money to a dangerous loan shark the killer had come to collect. The police were unable to catch the killer, and the case went cold. My husband's brothers and sisters blamed me for my husband's death, claiming that I should have known better than to marry a man in debt to a loan shark. His mother kept repeating, "He's dead, he's dead, he's dead," without any regard for me. His father didn't speak a word to me, just stared at me blankly and shook his head. Was it my fault my husband was killed? I loved him. How could I have known he was in debt to a loan shark? I hadn't known him that long. But maybe I should have investigated further. Maybe I should have listened to my gut when I felt uneasy about marrying him. After all, I had never met his parents before his death. He had kept them a secret. Was it his way of protecting me? Was he ashamed of them? Did they know about the loan shark? Why hadn't he told me about the money? Was he in too deep to escape? Had they forced him to take loans? Why didn't they protect him? Why didn't they warn me? All these questions and more raced through my mind. But there were no answers. A few weeks after the funeral, I received a letter from my husband's father. He was demanding I return the engagement ring and wedding band. I refused, pointing out that I had been the victim of a crime and my husband's body had been My husband's father replied, "You killed my son. You destroyed our family. Give me back what you have of him and get out of our lives forever." It's been almost a year since I lost my husband, and I'm still in shock. People keep telling me I'll find someone better, but I don't care. I loved him. He was my soulmate. How could anyone be so cruel? Well, apparently quite a few people. But if you want to hear more stories about crazy mother-in-laws, click on this video on the screen now. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. But if you're not subscribed and you enjoy watching these videos, please consider hitting that subscribe button because it really does help the channel tremendously. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the great comments, and I'll see you in the next Reddit video.